Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2017 and our European Journeyman series at Bayer Leverkusen. It is the year 2028. We're on April's Fool's Day of that year and we're about to take on Hoffenheim on the back of an incredible unbeaten run. Mostly victories stretching back a long time, all the way back to November. We are one game away from a full screen without any red. So that's the goal for today, is to make that screen a reality. We do need to beat Hoffenheim to do that. At the moment, we're doing very well in the league. We are 2 points clear of Bayern Munich, but with this Hoffenheim game in hand, so if we win this, we'll go back to 5 points clear at the top with just 6 games left to play after this one. But we've also got both legs of our Atletico Madrid Champions League quarter-finals today, and they have to be the priority right now. We can afford to slip up against Hoffenheim. It's not what we want to do, but it is on the table. We've also got a Bundesliga match against Stuttgart, which is going to be quite tough going, but I think really we should be getting through these 4 games. Remaining unbeaten at least is probably the goal, but the main task is getting past Atletico Madrid. Now this match we do have a few players missing out. We've got Henriks and Rabollo suspended, both fullbacks out. Jarlo's still injured as well, which isn't ideal, and some players not quite fully fit like El Said. So we're going to be playing a makeshift defence really, with Schiel on the left, not somewhere he usually plays, and it's Trell, Brukas and Jensch in the back line, and Mikulacak at right back. Betty and Havertz are in central midfield, with Janssen, Braga and Bernardo Silva all up front. Hoffenheim coming out from defence, still inside the first 20 minutes at the moment, so not a lot has happened. Janssen onto Braga, he pushes it over to Bernardo Silva, onto Mikulacak, back to Havertz. He's gone for a big diagonal ball there and found Janssen, who cuts inside and finds Mikulacak, of all people, steaming in. It's his 5th goal of the season, which, given he isn't even a regular starter, is quite a good number of goals to get, especially given he's usually a fullback. He's done a very good job this season, being the man we bring in to fill in some unusual positions, and he's given us a huge breakthrough as well today. Now Jensch has the ball, he sends it back to Nezovic, out to Traub, Betty, back to Havertz, now Bernardo Silva, Betty again, on to Mikulacak. He's got players over, Bernardo Silva, 2 players ahead of him, Braga, everybody getting crowded out here, Janssen, ball back, now Bernardo Silva again, he's got Mikulacak of all people free, and he is scythed down in the penalty area there. No doubt that that's a penalty kick. We did miss our last 2 penalties though, so I'm hoping we won't miss this one as well. Not sure who's actually going to take this one. Possibly Bernardo Silva, otherwise it might be Jensch, I think. Braga actually might be the person taking it, but I think it's Bernardo Silva, given it's a left footer taking it. No card for the player, but Bernardo Silva does step up, and this time he does score it. We've broken that penalty taking duck and managed to make it 2-0. Well, Hoffenheim getting a highlight here straight from kickoff after our goal, trying to get back into the game, and instead they've lost the ball to Schiel. Betty trying to come forward for a misery compiler. Braga onto Janssen, back into Betty, now Braga again. Mikulacak all the way back to Havertz, building up again. Look at how many players we have camped on the edge of their area. Mikulacak back to Havertz, Betty back to Janssen. There's a through ball on there, and Schiel has got it. Trying to take it outside, he brings it back, and what a strike from Betty into the bottom corner. An absolute howitzer, and this game is pretty much sewn up after 25 minutes. Mikulacak with the throw in towards Havertz, who keeps the ball. Betty, ball back to Havertz again, slipped into Nachtigall, who's had to come on for an injured Braga. Schiel there just rifling that one the wrong side of the post, but Braga has picked up an injury which I'm hoping won't rule him out from Tuesday's game, but given it's only 2 days away, it probably will. And here's Janssen again, onto Schiel in a good area, and he's still got the ball, and he's missed an open goal. That was a golden opportunity for him to get a goal, and instead he's put it in the side netting. Janssen, floodgates have really opened for us here. Schiel puts a cross in, he's put it to the back stick, and there's another foul in there. It's another penalty. Last time we had a penalty, we had 2 in the same game, we missed them both. This time we've got 2 in the same game again. I believe it's Bernardo Silva to take the second one as well. Will he score it? He does. He puts it in the opposite corner. Keeper went the right way but was unable to stop it, and we've made it 4-0. After a really busy first half, we're now having a much quieter second. No highlights whatsoever. Still 4-0 though, so we can be happy with that with just 10 minutes left to roll down. Well, there's just a few seconds left here, already over the allotted time, but this has been an absolute dominating victory for us over Hoffenheim. And there's now just 6 games separating us from the title. If we win 5 of them, we're guaranteed that title, but I think even 4 will probably do it for us because we're so far clear now. 28 games played, 2 draws, 3 defeats. That is not a bad run of form whatsoever, and we are without doubt the standout team of this season so far. Well, this is the big night for us. We're at home against Atletico Madrid. I'm hoping we can get a score result on the board without conceding any. That's the ideal, because then we can just pop in an away goal at the Atletico Madrid stadium and hopefully get through to the next round without too much trouble. But if this first leg doesn't go to plan, we could really be up against it in the second leg. The team's a little bit tired, but everybody's over 90% fitness, which is the main thing. Braga's injury in the last game has ruled him out for a little while. I think he's out for just a couple of days now, but not fit enough for this game, which was my fear at the time when he got the injury. That means that Malherbe is going to start up front with Janssen and Bernardo Silva. Betty and Havertz both carry on in midfield, but we are blessed to have Rebollo and Henriks both back at the wing-back positions. El Said is also coming back to the first team alongside Traub and Ruka, so it's our strongest possible back 5 with Nezovic in goal. Rebollo with a throw-in early in this game. It's come back to him. El Said onto Betty, edge of the area. He's found Janssen, who first time has just hooked that one into the bottom corner. A beautiful strike from Kevin Janssen, and we've got an early lead against Atletico. Ball thrown in from the side, but cleared by Bentancur. Now Santos has it, and he's having a good run here, but Havertz does manage to get across and win the ball. Here's Traub over the top to Henriks. Bernardo Silva, this is very good passing from the team. Malherbe back to Rebollo. Not a lot of options there, and Lindholm is happy to side him down, but El Said wins the ball back. Now Janssen onto Betty. Through to Rebollo. Havertz, a bit more space for him. Pushes it out wide to Rukas. Back into Havertz again. Betty looking for that slip pass for Rebollo. Instead he finds Malherbe, who finds Janssen, who finds 2-0. 6 shots, 6 on target, and 2 goals for Kevin Janssen. We are looking very good right now. El Said with the ball, still in the opening 20 minutes of this game. Janssen finds Henriks. He's got players in the middle. He's looking for Rebollo, and it's ricocheted nearly into the back of the net there. The Atletico defenders at 6s and 7s and just do not know how to cope. Free kick for Bernardo Silva. Long way out. He's drilled it straight into the wall. It comes to Rukas. He's still got it. Players around him though. He needs to be careful protecting that ball. Not sure why he's turned away from his teammates, but he's still hanging on to it. Then he finds Henriks. Betty onto Malherbe. Janssen back to Traub, trying to get it over the top. It's come to Havertz. Betty to Janssen. Now Bernardo Silva finds Malherbe into Rebollo, and he's found the bottom corner. 3-0. Not really sure what happened there because Apple wants me to install some updates, but let's go back and have a quick look at this goal. Rukas had it for absolutely ages. It was finally sort of worked forward by Traub. Headed away to Havertz again. Betty to Janssen. There's the pass to Malherbe. Slipped it into Rebollo, and he first time. How often have we seen him just absolutely drive a shot into the back of the net? And that is 3-0 inside the first half an hour of this quarter-final tie. Bentancur with a free kick, just 30 seconds left until half-time, and Pavon has hit that strike straight at Nezovic. That's the only time they've threatened in this game. And right now it's mostly about shutting them out and making sure we keep a clean sheet, because we are sitting so pretty right now, it's unreal. Henriks trying to bring it in from the right-hand side, and he's found Janssen, who's on a hat-trick, and he's just slotted it past the Atletico Madrid keeper. An absolute worldy performance from Kevin Janssen today. We didn't really see much of him in the first half of this season, but he's really come to life now. Made that shirt his own, and he's just made it 3 goals for him on one of the most important nights of our season. A brilliant performance. Bentancur with a free kick. Atletico trying to get that away goal to keep this tie kicking along. Pepelu to Chirini. Now Bar. Just hanging on to the ball and tackled by Rebollo. Malherbe through to Havertz. Betty on to Janssen. Out wide to Rebollo. Betty again through to Malherbe. Now Janssen. What is Betty going to do here? He tries to find Malherbe. He's managed to keep the ball. Betty dinks it over the top. Robolo in a good position. Finds Janssen again. And Janssen has made it 5-0. 4 goals for Kevin Janssen. That's absolutely unreal. He is tearing Atletico apart. Malherbe dinks it through to Bernardo Silva. His shot is just blocked and the defenders manage to get it away. Well, with 5 minutes to go, we're keeping Atletico shut out and taking a 5-0 win away from home. If we score 1 goal in the next match, Atletico will need to get 7 to go through. So you have to say that we're looking good for making the semi-finals of the Champions League, having won it last season. And this is such a turnaround in form. We barely made it out of the group stages, and it was a weak group as well. But we've absolutely turned it on in the knockout stages and are looking very, very difficult to beat. Having already taken Juventus out, we're now doing the same to Atletico. Well, after that comprehensive win over Atletico Madrid, we're in a position we can actually put out a full-strength team in the league game, which I was not expecting. So really, we should be beating Stuttgart in this game and just completely making sure of our position at the top of the table ahead of that return match to Spain to take on Atletico for a place in the semi-final. I think that game is surely sewn up, so I want to focus on getting the league settled now because we don't know who we would play in the semi-finals. We've also got the semi-final of the DFB Pokal to come as well, so trying to tie the league up as soon as possible has to be the priority. Now for this game we do have Malherbe, Janssen and Braga starting up front with Bernardo Silva sitting out. Betty and Havertz are both in midfield with Robolo at left back, El Sayed, Traub and Rukas at the centre, and Mikulacak coming in for Henriks at right back. Janssen with a free kick, looking to the back stick, trailed down to El Sayed, but his header easily plucked from the sky by the keeper. Well, at the halfway stage, we've not managed to break through, but there's only really been that one poor highlight, so we're not anywhere near the levels we've been to in our last 2 games where we completely swept aside our opponents, and we have a job of work to do here against Stuttgart because there's still not really any chances being created, and I think we're really missing Bernardo Silva up front. Well, less than 20 minutes to go. Bernardo Silva is on the pitch. We're desperately trying to flood forward and get goals, but they do not look like they're coming at the moment. It looks like Janssen's having a pretty poor game, so I think he needs to come off as well. So Braga, the only one of the front 3 still on the field from the kickoff. Hopefully that will give some fresh legs to try and get goals. Natgel will have a bit more pace up there, but it's just not been our day at the moment. We're not really getting any chances whatsoever. And there's now just 5 minutes left. We've got a corner though. Bernardo Silva sends it to the back stick for Traub. He heads it down to Robolo and it's saved by the keeper. I thought that was going to be our goal, striking it into the bottom corner, but not this time. It looks at the minute like that Robolo chance was our last big hope of getting 3 points today. It's going to be drop points, which is really not okay given how strong the team was that we put out there at the start of this match. I think Mikulacak's throw could be the last action. Braga's got it, he's tackled, and there's the full-time whistle. We've dropped points again. We haven't done it a lot this season, to be fair, and it is always inevitable in a league campaign that you will drop points, but I'm hoping Bayern Munich haven't capitalised on that. I didn't really have much chance looking at the table. They're still to play, and we are 6 points clear at the top. So it isn't the end of the world. We're guaranteed to still be 3 points clear with 5 games to go in the league. But Bayern maybe have a scent of the title now. Having got the job done for the most part in the first leg, we now need to finish the job off against Atletico Madrid. We've got a 5-0 advantage going into this match. We surely cannot blow that, which is why I have rotated the squad a little bit, but not very much. It's still a very strong team going out there. We have got Malherbe coming in, Mikulacak is at left back as well, Shield coming into central defence, and Doumbia in for Havertz in midfield. Otherwise the team's pretty much full strength, so we should really be getting a win today, I think, but we certainly should not be losing by 5 goals. Pavon with the free kick, sends it on to Martinez, ball over the top, and there's a header there from Kuchera ahead of Nezovic in goal. He really should have been claiming that. That's a terrible mistake to have made, and it's now just 4 goals, the advantage that we have. Rukas forward to Doumbia, now Betty onto Mikulacak, inside towards Malherbe. Janssen's picked up the loose ball and played in Braga, but it's tipped over from Petroli. In defence of Braga, he did get that right into the top corner, but the keeper very much equal to it. Betty puts this corner in, and it's headed down towards Trowell, but cleared up by Pavon. Mikulacak with the throw in. He finds Betty, back to Mikulacak. It's a good angle. He finds Trowell, his shot blocked. Henriks with it. Forced away from goal, but picks out Betty. Janssen through to Braga, and there it is. That's our place in the semi-finals, all wrapped up. Nothing Atletico can do now. They need 6 goals to go through from this point. Petroli with the goal kick out. An hour gone in this game, and we're pretty much just running down the clock now until the full-time whistle. I don't see Atletico getting 6 goals in less than 30 minutes remaining, although they've managed to get done one there. It's Cherini with the goal, his second of the game. 25 goals for him this season. He just needs to get 5 more in 25 minutes, and Braga is injured again. The man is a crock. Well, just 5 minutes left. Janssen puts his corner in, and Mikulacak's hit the crossbar. The ball is ricocheting around, but they do manage to clear that away. Annoyingly, we didn't have anybody in and around that area to just tap the ball home, and sometimes the defenders even kick it against themselves into the back of the net, but not on this occasion. It looks like we are actually going to lose our first game for quite some time unless we get a goal in these last 5 minutes, which it doesn't look like is going to happen at the moment. It looks like we've been the better team on paper, but we are heading for defeat right now, and it's our first defeat since November. But not really a defeat that matters. 4 goals clear still on aggregate. Garcia with a free kick here over the bar, and that will be pretty much the last act of this quarter-final. We are going to the Champions League semi-finals for the 2nd year running, having won the competition last year. So hopefully we can defend the Champions League title for the first time in this series. Napoli winning 2-0 over Milan, but it wasn't enough. They lost the first leg 3-0. Which means that they have gone out of the Champions League, and it's all about who we get in the semi-finals now. Well, before we go, we do just have time for this Champions League semi-final draw. 4 very big teams in there. Us, AC Milan, PSG and Real Madrid. It's quite a big draw. PSG are the first team out the hat. We played them in the group stage, and it looks like we're playing them again. That's going to be a big match. Milan get Real Madrid, so it'll probably be Real Madrid in the final if I was a betting man. And it's all about whether we can get past PSG, and I think we drew and lost against them in the group stage. But we're a very different team at the moment to the one that they got the better of in that group stage, so I'm quite confident about our chances of getting past them and into the final. Now, next episode we have to turn our attention to domestic football, at least temporarily. We're going to have Hanover at home. They're bottom of the league. We should be winning that. Then we've got Dortmund in the DFB Pokal semi-final. That's going to be a very big game before we then take on Leipzig away and PSG away in the Champions League semi-final first leg. So some very big matches still to come. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that, especially that DFB Pokal semi-final and the Champions League semi-final as well. Do drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed this long unbeaten run that finally came to an end. Our goal was to make it fit on one screen, and we did manage to do that. That is an impressive unbeaten run, going all the way back, and the game that we lost didn't even really matter. So if we can keep this going to the end of the season, we will be going home with a treble, which would be incredible. If we have a quick look at the competition screen as well, you can see we've already won 2 competitions this year. We lost the Super Cup annoyingly, because this could have been a septuple year, or a sextuple year. At the moment we'll have to settle for possibly 5 trophies in one season, which would still be pretty incredible. But we got a long way to go before that. Do drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed this one though, in our way into the Champions League semi-finals. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and follow me on Twitter for all the latest news and updates. But until next time, see ya.